Despite the issues that have embroiled his programs and what fans may think about him now, one could convincingly assert that the Kentucky-Louisville college basketball rivalry grew to its apex because of one man, Rick Pitino. From turning around Kentucky's program and getting the best of Louisville's legendary head coach Denny Crum, to returning to college basketball and resurrecting Louisville by forcing Kentucky to respond by hiring John Calipari, the person most loved and despised in this rivalry continues to be Pitino. The modern era of the rivalry between the Wildcats and the Cardinals has been dominated by these larger-than-life coaching names. But this is a battle for the state of Kentucky. We'll take a look back at the history of this hoops showdown, breaking down its top moments on this edition of Stadium Rivals. Believe it or not, it was Kentucky that was consistently ducking playing Louisville in the early years of the rivalry. Some attribute that to Kentucky's future Basketball Hall of Fame head coach Adolph Rupp. Taking over the program in 1930 and staying in that position for 42 years, historians say that Rupp didn't want to prop up other in-state schools by competing against them on the hardwood. Thus, Kentucky and Louisville met just twice in Rupp's tenure, both wins for Kentucky. First, a 91-57 win at the NAIB tournament in New York City in 1948, and a 79-68 win in the first round of the 1951 NCAA tournament. But it was the meeting in 1983 that truly put the rivalry on the map. Basketball fans in the state of Kentucky tend to know where they were on March 26, 1983. Kentucky and Louisville met on Tennessee's home floor with a spot in the Final Four at stake. Everyone in the state was into it, even Governor John Brown, who fashioned a coat with one half red and one half blue, underscoring the importance of this matchup. The game was an instant classic. The teams battled down to the wire before Jim Master hit a shot at the buzzer to send the game to overtime. But Louisville turned it around in the extra period, winning 80-68 in OT, as Denny Crum got the better of Joe Hall. Crum's Doctors of Dunk, known for their above-the-rim playing style, would use the win to springboard the program to an eventual national title in 1986. In late 1983, after even the Kentucky State Legislature got involved, the start of the annual rivalry tipped off as the schools would meet once per year in late December or early January. Number 1 Kentucky would get revenge in that meeting with a 65-44 win, then punctuated the victory with another win over Louisville the following March in the 1984 Sweet 16, 72-67 at Rupp Arena. In 1989, the NCAA slapped Kentucky with a 3-year probation and a 2-year ban from postseason play after allegations of payments to recruits under head coach Eddie Sutton. After Sutton resigned, Kentucky hired Pitino in hopes he would reestablish the program. Kentucky's postseason ban was lifted in 1992 as Rick Pitino's promise to bring the program back to prominence had come to fruition. Kentucky came into the 1992 game at number 3 in the country on a 2-game win streak in the rivalry. Kentucky would win that game 88-68 behind stars Jamal Mashburn, Travis Ford, and Tony Delk. They lost in the national semifinal in March of 1993 against Michigan's Fab Five. Kentucky would win a national championship in 1995, but on New Year's Day, the number 5 Wildcats were shocked by unranked Louisville 88-86. Louisville takes extra pleasure in that win. Rick Pitino was hired by the Boston Celtics in 1997, but amassed a dismal record of 102-146 in his 4-year stint. It wasn't long before he was back in college, taking over for the retiring Denny Crum as the head coach of the Louisville Cardinals. Boos and other unpleasantries greeted Rick Pitino as he returned to Rupp Arena with the rival Cardinals. Tubby Smith's number 8 Wildcats greeted the program's former coach with a dominating 82-62 win. Despite leading Kentucky to 1 national title, 4 Elite 8 appearances in his 10 seasons, and 6 wins in 10 games over Louisville, Tubby Smith was let go in favor of Billy Gillispie in 2007. Gillispie would lose back-to-back games to Louisville in 2008 and 2009 before Kentucky made another coaching change, this time to recruiting wizard John Calipari. Known for his one-and-done recruiting approach, Calipari began turning Kentucky around yet again. A heated 2010 game in Lexington ended with number 3 Kentucky topping unranked Louisville 71-62 behind 18 points and 18 rebounds from DeMarcus Cousins. Number 1 Kentucky took on number 17 Louisville in the 2012 NCAA Final Four. A 2-loss Kentucky team led by Anthony Davis defeated Louisville 69-61 behind Davis's 18 points and 14 boards. It was the Wildcats' 4th straight win over Louisville. How about another matchup in the NCAA tournament? How about another Kentucky win? This Sweet 16 matchup was led by Julius Randle's 15 points for the 74-69 win for the Wildcats. This intrastate battle is cross-pollinated with names and faces that keep things fresh and lively. Although scandal ended Pitino's tenure at Louisville, this rivalry is still alive and well. Kentucky leads the all-time series 35-16 heading into the 2018 game. These non-conference rivals do not like each other, and the people of Kentucky have picked sides. This is one of the game's best rivalries, the best of which we continue to analyze on Stadium Rivals.